Dire Bears Tuesday Night, Cylon 2nd Edition Chronicle. Who remembers what happened last week?
A lot that happened.
There wasn't that much that happened.
There was a lot that happened.
Alright, y'all started a PR war, if I recall, with the other band.
I'm currently winning it by myself with some help from Connor.
By myself, with all the footage everybody else gave me, in addition to my own. But yes, you have thoroughly muddied the water, on the of the narrative the Varangian band was putting forth about current events.
Yes.
Don't worry, I've got plans for that too today.
Let's see, what else? You found some evidence, or at least Sasha became suspicious that Mr. Sandquist, Violetta's widower, may be possessed. The news station that family owns did a 180 and started bashing you guys along with everybody else. And Sarah spotted him on a live broadcast and could see a spirit overlaying him. Now, looking at the recording afterwards, she didn't see anything, but maybe it was a recording versus live.
So she confirmed she did not see it on the recording.
Yes, I want to say she had you play if I recall right, she had.
Had me play it back. I don't remember if you said that.
Yeah, I believe I said she did not see it on the recording.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah, it was just the initial. Hey, what was that? Check it again, and didn't see it for a second.
One of the important things, though, was you finally tracked down the Oracle that had been. I hesitate to say the bane of your existence up to this point, but
yeah, kind of turned out to be an 8-year-old, so not the bane of my existence.
No, clearly an 8-year-old is your arch nemesis. Put that on your YouTube.
And on top of that, we also discovered that, said 8-year-old Oracle is a part of the other band. Hooray!
We had to get into a whole thing about, no, this is wrong.
What? You got 5 members? The Varangians needed 5 members. Besides, was she really part of the band, or was that them humoring a little girl? You don't know.
I don't want
next time y'all sit down and have a meeting with them over tea, y'all have to discuss it.
I'm sure that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna be able to just sit down and have a pleasant discussion.
Look, only one of the Varangian band has tried to murder any of you.
Yeah, but she's consistent about it.
She is consistent. Oh, we got Dragon Magpie in the chat.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Welcome, thanks for coming back.
No. And yes, can confirm she did try to assassinate, but luckily, Nas was kind to me that night in getting away. For now.
Ah,
yes, for now. But only for now.
Dragon is an Otter fan.
Well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Everyone loves Otter. He's a good guy. Big bushy beard to hide birds in. Anyway. I'm right. Otter, if you're listening, you can confirm that.
Right.
I'm now picturing him, but in an episode of Family Guy. Anyway. Alright. So you track down the Oracle. Almost got bluffed by her mother, who did not seem to be involved in any of the shenanigans other than just kind of being a victim. But you spirited her away to some followers of a set that Sasha's mother directed her to. Because once out of the general area around Olympus, apparently the other gods are free to intervene at that point. You've been left with the impression that the ones that belong to the non-Greek pantheons aren't going to directly get involved with whatever Guy has got going on. That
Well,
whatever she's
in the
doing
area,
appears
yeah.
to be kind of an internal Greek affair.
Let's say, is that before or after Wukong gets bored?
Who knows?
Even Wukong has limits.
Well, that's the question. Is he not involved? Or is Connor his involvement?
Eh?
That's truthfully a question to be asked for any of you that aren't.
Yeah.
That aren't Theo.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever sort of inner pantheon accords there may be, apparently you guys running around aren't interfering, aren't causing any, international incidents. Maybe because you're natives of the city, maybe because you're still mostly mortal, or maybe just because you're in a band with members of the Theo.
Not causing international incidents yet.
I don't know. That'll be if we come back at the demigod level when that book finally comes out.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
And let's see, other little tidbits. Sasha finally got her grandparents to leave town.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that I did confirm that they were out of town.
You did. Even though her grandmother was trying to convince her grandfather to turn around, but he was having none of it.
Nope.
He's like, nope, we're driving.
Convinced her mother to leave town as well.
We don't know that.
I convinced her to leave. Whether or not she actually left, I don't know yet.
She'll go across the lake and stay with friends. Y'all busted in Chad's place. You busted in Chad's place later. She's on the couch. Oh, hey. Y'all know each other?
If I wasn't gonna kill him, I'm gonna kill him now.
No, but yeah, I think she may have said something about going to stay with some friends.
Yeah.
And so I believe Connor talked to his grandfather, but it didn't sound like old Jen was going to leave.
Yeah. I think then we had an existential crisis of, wait, is his grandfather actually mortal? We don't know.
Well, he wasn't going to leave town, but he was going to stay with somebody else in town.
Yeah.
To make himself something a little less of a target.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll pick up today with y'all just getting back to town from where y'all had run down to the Colorado border that y'all met them at. I forget. Well south of and to the west of Olympus. So a few hour drive down there, a few hour drive back.
Yeah.
The day is pretty well shot by the time you get back to town.
I'll say Connor would have kept clones to keep an eye on the situation in the city.
Nothing exciting happens while you're gone.
Okay.
The news channels are still going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to talk about all the stuff Talarius released.
Yeah.
Finally, shit! I found it out today.
But they seem to be slower about doing it than they really ought to be.
Yeah.
Now, as I pointed out last week, the PBS station, TV station, and the NPR radio stations, they're reacting much more like you would expect them to.
The national stations, basically,
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that are local.
Well, some of those are also non-profit.
Yeah. But they're not in anyone's pocket, so it's like whatever.
Yep.
Hilarious in the car is just working on, not releasing it obviously, but just working on ideas for this next piece that they have.
Mm-hmm. Well, online it is blowing up big online.
As well, it should.
All over Facebook, all the social medias, people are talking about it.
Checks the Discord.
Oh yeah. The Discord, it's like World War II in there. People just some of them have like lost the whole point of the argument. They're just into the argument now.
Just like a Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as Discord servers want to do.
No. So with the piece that Telarius is working on, as far as, and again, they're not releasing it; they're just getting it ready, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the child goes, their face is going to be blurred the entire time. Like, every time the name is mentioned, it's like a bleep. Because I do not want this child to be found, but I want them to know that they were being used by the Varangian band. So face blurred every time the name is mentioned. Beep. Just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining like one of those SCP like classified reports. So it's just like it gets to parts like it's like
redacted.
What's your name, honey? She looks up and then you hear just a deep voiced man. Redacted.
Burnt house.
Yeah.
Do you also blur her mother's face?
Yes.
Okay.
The guy I don't really give a shit about.
The guy who's passed out.
Honestly, he's not even in frame for most of it, so it's fine.
Oh, I mean, he tried.
Yeah, truthfully, by the time you were talking to the little girl at all, he was already napping.
He passed out, yeah.
I just put him to sleep. It's fine.
Yeah.
He was tired.
With your your literal god tier strength.
He was sleeping. I had to put him to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we agreed not to release any of that until we knew for sure that they were out and they were done. Yeah. So, Telarius is just working on it and not.
Yeah, you'd probably need to give it a few days. You don't know exactly where it sets people were taking her, but you're sure it would take them, at least a few days to get wherever they were going.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Then that's what they'll be doing up until. No, that's what they'll be doing until the other thing they want to do is like send some feelers out to their house, because actually no, they'll just do that themselves. They'll be like, hey, I'm not gonna look like me, but I am definitely going to check out my house real quick.
You go by the apartment. There are no protesters out there.
Sure.
You do see a police car parked across the street from the apartment.
I don't look like me, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, and they don't pay you no attention. Because technically y'all are still wanted for questioning. Though in your poking around, you also find that the Varangian Guard are also wanted for questioning at this point.
Hey. I'll send that text out.
Well, some of the video you put out refuted things they'd been saying, so, still a lot of drama going on.
The guard or the band?
The band.
Okay.
Yeah, the guard have the actual Varangian Guard, their security, mortal security company, hasn't really been involved in anything too hinky.
Yeah.
They also mysteriously disappeared.
Stretching.
You're good. Yeah, Telarius will check on their apartment.
I guess they do make the news because one of their members was murdered, but
Sure, but that's...
They thought it was a car accident first, then they realized, no, the broken glass isn't what slit his throat.
Unless... the glass just went and went.
Yeah. Except there was no residue.
Weird. Yeah, they come in. They clock the cops. No protesters. No, they'll check their.
I know what you mean when you say that, but I just picture Telarius walking by, just through the window. Oh, good. The police aren't paying attention to me. Well, they are now. But like I said, still a lot of drama going on with internal affairs of the police because the way they were going about y'all's investigation was, basically shady.
Unlawful.
Yeah, or at the very least, it was really kind of skirting.
This is Tillarius's surprised face. Anyway.
But if you see, you get a text from Samuel a little bit before you get back in town that they've let him out.
Mm-hmm.
He's now being represented by Mr. Van William Poole, who you spoke to on the phone. I mean, Connor has met.
I forgot to clip that, but I'll do that next time. I'll do that later. That's fine.
Of course, he had not been arrested. He was being held for questioning.
Yes.
And the 24 hours is up by this point, and Mr. Williams was or Mr. Poole rather, was
very insistent.
He was there, right at time. Doing my Judge Judy meme that I always use. So when you get the text from him, he's already back at the apartment.
Cool. Even better. I want to sweep the apartment as I'm going through it and just. Well, first I'm asking, did they take you here or did they take you outside?
He was in the hallway.
It's in the hallway. Okay.
He was headed for the stairs, the stairwell.
Yeah.
They,
did you get your guns back?
He tells you Mr. Poole is working on that.
Okay.
He goes, should be back tomorrow. He's kind of putting the fear of the gods in them as far as making sure they don't drag their feet too much.
Did any of this seem... And I know we did kind of, we pushed that out there of, police corruption. Did any of it seem like an overstep as far as this went? I'm asking Samuel.
He's like, the officer's arresting me? No, I mean, they told me to stop. I threw my hands up.
Sure.
He goes, so I don't think whatever's going on, I don't think it's necessarily seeped down to that level.
So the street level cops are still on the up and up still.
Yeah. Or at least, at the normal level, varying level that you'll get in cities. But
Sure. Now just look around. Does my place look trashed?
There are some drawers emptied out. It doesn't look like they it's obviously been searched.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be one of the legally questionable things.
Yeah.
Unless
that's
you
going
see
off my order domain in my order purview head that. I didn't see a warrant.
Let's see. I can't think of anything illegal Tillarius would necessarily have in the apartment.
No. They'd have a bunch. They'd have a lot of technology, but they wouldn't have. They'd have a lot of technology, but I already wiped it, so tough shit. But also, there wasn't anything in there that was I didn't have a joint or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, you didn't before they shipped it. But no, nothing seems to be missing. Like I said, it doesn't look like they did a thorough search.
Someone was like, let's just do a quick once over real quick.
Yeah, just a quick toss the drawers. Almost like maybe they really came in here just to make sure you weren't in here. I mean, yeah, the goat guy said you weren't in here, but how do we really know?
I'll compartmentalize that for later. When I see Connor, who is actually the law, sort of. And then I'll just kind of keep looking around. And one thing I am looking for specifically is if there are any fucking bugs. I'm not Tillarius isn't saying anything. They're just kind of looking around. They're just kind of researching through their stuff, and they're just seeing if their house is bugged.
You're cleaning the house.
Yes.
While cleaning the house.
Yes.
All right, give me a. Well, technology will probably. Well, let's see. Would it be technology or subterfuge? This would probably be more subterfuge.
Okay.
Because you're thinking of where they could hide stuff.
Sure. And then cunning, or maybe
Yes.
manipulation. One of those.
Manipulation would be social. This is more. You're thinking of where they could stash stuff.
Okay. Cunning and subterfuge. All right. Cool. And wobble. Oh, I was scrolled all the way up. I was like, I'm not that person at all. I didn't get 1 success. I got 4 successes.
Yes, you find 3 listening devices.
Immediately, and they're for sure just listening, no audio or no video, rather.
Yeah. There's no camera, and the where they were stashed, they wouldn't have had a view of anything.
I'll look at Samuel and just be like,
He nods.
grab the device. Careful to grab it because I know what they look like too. Where it's not like it won't touch the microphone.
Yeah, and and Samuel starts talking, but he's talking about he's complaining about his shows that he missed while he was in jail. Anyway, he's just sort of babbling, so there is some kind of background noise.
Yeah.
This ain't his first rodeo.
Good. And then, I want to keep them there, but I want to do like I want to be able to like transmit what I want to transmit to these things. Not. I want to have like a good background noise of an approximation of a background noise of just a regular day until Arius is placed, without like where I can still talk, but they're being fed like just regular stuff.
Mhm.
Whoever this is on the other end.
It's like you're turning off their mic, but sending a broadcast to them, kind of
Yes.
thing. Okay. That'll take some time, but you've got all night.
Definitely got all night. And I will text the band. I'll text the band and be like, "House is bugged. Working on it."
One thing you can tell with a glance at these, they are high dollar. Definitely not something run-of-the-mill police station would have.
Sure.
And there's no way to
surveillance. Holy shit! I am so surprised.
and there is no way to tell, if it was the police that put these in here, or if somebody came in after them.
It's fine.
Because the apartment would have been empty for the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah. So they'll start working on that.
Okay.
So and even like the background noise of like Telerius on a computer or something is more than enough to be like, okay, they're here. So they're working on their phone instead of like on the computer, which probably may take a little longer, but also I can ignore a complication in my because I have the Forge purview.
And basically, there was like one in the living room, so you could essentially just leave the TV on.
Yeah.
In there for at least
Just have Samuel in there complaining about like the shows.
There's one in your wherever it is you do your editing, wherever your main computer rig is. That's in a bedroom or in its own room or whatever.
I pictured it like being so there's like the front room, and then there's like a little bar area, and then next to that is like there's the kitchen, and then across from that is like where they do their editing because they want to be in a spot like, especially with the band, where they can still kind of like talk with the band while they're like working on whatever.
Okay.
It's like adjacent to the living room.
Well, I know early on they would go to like a back room when they were doing it, but
Yes, but
that was before the band
like
really
their
formed.
bandmates. Yeah, exactly. The subtle character development. They do have that. They do have that room back there still with a computer.
Okay. Well, go ahead and give me a technology cunning.
Technology cunning. I will opt to give myself a little bit of a hand with this.
Versus, this will be versus whoever is listening
Whoever's on the other end,
side.
so. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take a +2 enhancement with the marble.
That's not what I need.
Ooh, baby! That's 10 successes.
Holy crap!
Brava, brava.
Well,
This is
there,
my thing.
there were 3
this is what-
10s in that roll too.
This is my thing. If ever there was gonna be a 10 roll for me, that would be it.
Oh well, the listener got 2 10s. And another success and another 10.
Oop.
So that's got him up to 4. Yep, but there's 3 ends there. So I guess I should have told you that because you wouldn't know if they overheard you or not, Owen.
Teleris is pretty confident in their ability to circumnavigate that.
And I guess the third, I said there was 3 bugs. I guess the third one would have been in the kitchen or something. It would have been in some other social kind of area.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's trying to listen in your bathroom. Nobody's trying to listen in your bedroom. They're not creeps.
Yeah, Teleris will, I assume this will be like a lengthy project, so they'll just text to the band and be like, I'll be here for a bit, but you guys are welcome. You guys are still welcome to come through. I've got the bugs kind of where I want them.
Yeah, like I said, the day was shot when y'all got here, so it's, it's 9 or 10 at night by this point.
Okay, so
So Teleris may, they may work through the night.
they'll
taking care
work
of
through
these
the
bugs.
night and then just take a nap and wake up and be like, I'm good to go.
Which is also character development, because they used to sleep till 10 when they go to bed at a normal time.
Mhm.
Alright, so that's what Teleris has been in the evening doing. What are the rest of you doing?
That is a good question.
And
Yeah,
did
you
y'all
go
go back
ahead,
into
Ben.
town proper? I mean, Teleris obviously did. Or did y'all go back to the farm safe house? The now
Robert
scrying proof safe house.
Robert would have probably gone back to the safe house just because he ain't got no fancy tricks to hide his appearance.
Paper bag, man. Just right, I'm not a scion anymore, Onin.
Ah, yes. That.
Run around naked in a barrel.
Why
Run
are
around
you,
naked in a
why are
barrel
you,
and just
why
have-
are you wearing that? So I don't draw attention.
Put a sign on there. Been stripped of powers. I'm useless. Yeah, he would have probably gone back to the safe house and just done what he could, or I guess kind of piddled. I'm not quite sure what he could have piddled with.
Not that it matters, but it probably would. If I used my I used the marble, but if I used my if my specialty came into this, then yeah, it would have been 12 successes.
What is your specialty?
Technological tracker.
Yeah, that wouldn't really come into
10's fine.
into the whole hacking it to fool it. Now, if you're trying to trace it back to who was monitoring you, that might
Yeah.
come into it.
For sure.
Lava is just like, 10's fine.
No, I'm not. 10's great. 10's probably my best roll this game. But
Just one of those things I'm saying, you're just going, lol. You know?
I just wanted to. Just making sure we're keeping everything on the up and up.
Yeah. It just amused me greatly.
Deck is just having a Matthew McConaughey moment. Those are rookie numbers. Gotta get those numbers up.
I'm the Texan here.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's fair. All right, so Robert is just piddling around in the little workshop Connor had set at the safe house, which is a pretty good, it's a pretty good little workshop, especially to have been put together by somebody that's not really, into crafting.
Well, this is his primary safe house. This is his biggest one.
This is the big fallback position.
It is, yeah. It's outside the city where he can do guerrilla strikes whenever he needs to.
was going to
So,
make
yeah,
jokes about gorilla strikes being every kind of strike he does, but he's a monkey, not a gorilla. There's a difference.
There's not a great difference.
They don't have tails, man. He's got a tail.
I mean, he could probably weave you too.
I mean, maybe. But yeah, it's this being his like primary fallback point if things went to shit in the city. This is like his most well stocked place.
Of course, when y'all get back, Shauna sticks her head out the barn.
Time to fight yet? Right, and I have to get something from my apartment for her as well, and I'll grab that and hold on to that for now.
And what was it? It was a shiny something, but I can't remember what it was.
It is a gold plated, brand new the Samsung phones that fold.
Oh, okay.
It's got a bunch of games on it if she figures out how to work the touch screen.
Here, creature the size of a bus, play a game on this phone.
But other than that, it's a shiny bauble for her.
The size of a bus. Okay.
Well, the length of a bus, but I guess she wouldn't be as massive as a bus.
Yeah, she's getting there. Aside from being a 5-star creature now, she also does have the unstoppable trait. So, like the first sentence of that is grows to massive proportions, etc., etc. I thought the exact wording.
So basically, what you're telling me is when Scylla shows up, there's going to be a kaiju fight.
That may or may not have been my attention. I will confirm or deny.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean, I gotta bring in the Eastern influence somewhere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Big monster battles.
I was going to say that was more of a Japanese thing, but I imagine the Chinese have some kind of giant monsters of their own.
Oh yeah.
I know both Koreas do.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the North Korea actually kidnapped a director and made him do a movie.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate that.
And it was supposed to be like, kind of a pro-government propaganda thing. And on the surface it kind of is, but when you look at it closer you realize it's kind of not. And the dude and his wife eventually escaped him.
Yeah.
Alright. Getting off to that subject then. Alright, so is there anything specific Robert O'Connor are trying to accomplish that night? Or y'all just keep him busy before before the next day?
Connor is gonna direct his the clone that he had made before they all went with them, apparently. And while they were gone, the clone was gonna go back to Connor's home and gather up all of Shauna's horde and bring it to her.
Okay.
That one was. The clone by the tree is going to be just keeping an eye on things because the tree is a stationary known location.
Mm-hmm. So far in none of this has anyone anything hinky gone on with the tree. I mean, people approach the tree all the time. It's become something of a destination spot, for the park goers.
Okay.
Partly because it's new, partly because they know it's tied to the local scions.
Yeah. Fourth clone will actually go under walk unnoticed to buy a whole bunch of peaches and various fruits, and we'll present them as offering.
Oh, great, Kadama! I'd give you as an offering this fruit platter.
Basically.
I went to Whole Foods.
No, not Whole Foods, Sam's. Just a big old box. Clong.
Quantity is its own quality.
Yes. And then the one that is still under vigil will still be keeping an eye on the headquarters of the Varangian Guard. See if there's anything going on in there,
Okay.
any movement in, out, etc.
Throughout the day, you've had like some of the office workers show up.
Okay.
as nothing seems to be particularly suspicious. The people come in dressed normal. None of the people that come in are necessarily any of the security personnel that you're familiar with.
Right.
There's a couple of obvious either secretaries or accountants.
So office folk for the most part, from what he can tell.
All of them look like office folk.
Okay. Now another question with his tie to bureaucracy in all of its forms. Would he be able to tell if they are actually office folk or people pretending to be office folk? And I will also posit part of Connor's cultural heritage also is like crime stuff, people pretending to be what they're not, like streetwise, things like that.
Being a former undercover officer myself, I know how undercover people work.
So I would like to make sure.
All right. Now, are you sneaking into the building? Or are you like across the building, looking into the windows, with binoculars or something?
Well, if he sees people like going in and out, then he would like when there's like a larger amount of traffic, he'd that clone would activate walk unnoticed.
Okay, so you are inside the building looking.
Just kind of like slip in with the crowd, so to speak.
All right, give me a.
Excuse me.
Going to say, would it be culture or subterfuge?
Either or.
That is up to you, my dude.
We'll go with subterfuge.
Okay, subterfuge and manipulation.
Yes, that's the finesse one, so that makes the best sense.
Okay. Right. Also, would his street life knowledge count as specialization for this?
This is office life.
Well, yes, that's true. Okay. Fair.
If they were pretending to be gangbangers, then you'd be a lot more likely to be able to tell if they were faking or not.
Makes sense. All right. I want to make sure. Alrighty. 2 successes.
All right. Two of the 3 people that are working in here right now are what they appear to be. There's a lady that is. She goes to the office labeled, accounts payable or whatever, and she is doing the billing. She is handling office paperwork.
Right.
There's a guy sitting at what's essentially the front desk, and he's answering the phone. He's doing basically the secretary receptionist job.
Right.
Seems to be getting a lot of calls about, where he's basically going, he doesn't know where Mr. Faust or Miss what was Penelope's last name? Raptus.
Sandquist? No, it was Raptus.
No, Penelope was Raptus. Sandquist was Violetta.
Violetta, that's right.
So it's a lot of him going, I don't know where the bosses are.
So basically, the ones that are going, I'm just the messenger. Don't hurt me. Okay.
Maybe it's news crews, maybe it's cops calling, and you don't know. He's just answering the phone a lot.
Right.
It's a lot of the same comments. But it also sounds like he's taking some business calls or setting up some appointments.
Okay.
The third person is sitting. He's in the same room, basically. Well, not the receptionist. Well, you've got the accounts payable office that the lady walked into. There's almost like a little bullpen area outside with several desks.
Right.
One of the guys is at that. He's actually got, like I said, a headphones on. And some like computer software that you don't necessarily recognize.
Mm-hmm.
But you recognize like waveforms where he's listening to something,
Okay.
and there seems to be at least like 3 different ones that have.
Huh.
All of them seem to be recording, but it's like he'll periodically click between, like he'll have one highlighted and then he'll click on another one, like he's changing which one he's listening to.
Okay.
And something about that seems to be odd for office work.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of office work, do they have an office cat?
Steals the office cat.
You don't
I mean-
see any animals in here.
Let's see if they don't. I'm about to make one.
They don't.
Okay, I'm making one then. As I will imbue a bit of legend to have an animal, office cat, come by and just like, is it like a plug-in set of headphones?
Yes, there's a cord.
Cat's gonna go by and unplug the cord, as cats are wont to do to Sarah's shit.
You kind of see him. What the hell? Well, hey there. Who let you in? And he's distracted for a few minutes trying to get his hands on the cat.
Yeah, he'll maintain that legend imbuement to have the cat kind of like play and sort of like distract him. Is the audio like kind of audible now that the headphones are unplugged?
Even or odd?
I will say odd.
Oh, it's even.
Darn.
Nope, the computer has got speakers, but they are not currently turned on.
Okay. Well, while he's distracted, while maintaining that walk unnoticed, I will sort of like walk over and see like, is there any like label to the audio files or anything like that he's using?
Let's see. It's labeled surveillance TA.
Ooh.
And then it's just kind of mic 1, mic 2, mic 3. Now on a notepad next to the desk, he's got written, that's like mic 1 living room, mic 2, kitchenette or whatever.
Okay.
Mic 3. What would he put it?
Office.
Yeah, I guess office would be as good a place as any for the computer stuff.
Okay. All right. So that clone will imbue a third legend to
Okay.
create a cell phone. Make sure that it's completely silent, so no noise will come off when he snaps a picture. And while the guy's distracted with the cat, he's gonna make sure to get an angle of the audio clips with that notepad with guy with cat, and snap a picture, send it to Telarius with the caption "Local monkey."
Excuse me.
So they'll be like, oh. This is still in the same evening, right? Or is this the next day?
This is the next morning.
Okay. They'll get that when they wake up at like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And they'll look at it and be like, "Oh, well, good thing I fixed it. Good thing I made the bugs work for me."
Yeah. And then once that's done, he will release that legend to make the item vanish for the marvel.
Okay.
And he'll have the cat do cat things for a while to keep the guy distracted until eventually he like pets the cat enough and the cat's just like bite. I am done being pet by you, human. You've pet me one too many
That's
times.
what I want to do.
Nope. I wanted to be hit 20 times. You dared to pet me 21.
Bite.
This reminds me of being in the overworld for Sasha's. You may pet me 5 times.
Hey, at least in the overworld, the cat can tell you how many times, so there's no misunderstanding.
That's very true.
So yeah, he kind of yips. He yanks his hand back. He seems to be a cat person, so he doesn't take it personal.
Yeah.
You see him walk over to the accountant's office and stick his head in the door. And basically just ask her, "Hey, did you bring a cat?" So she comes out and looks at the cat. She doesn't try to pet it or anything because she's like, it's probably a stray that slipped in the door when one of us did.
Mm.
Don't start feeding it until you check with the boss.
It's interesting. He's gonna listen on that conversation to see if whom this boss might be.
They never really do drop the name, You get the impression it's really just her kind of going, don't adopt an office pet without checking to make sure it's okay.
Makes sense.
But yeah, eventually he goes back. Again, eventually he gets back to the computer, grabs some coffee, goes back to the computer, plugs his headset back in.
Okay.
Seems to be fairly bored with the whole endeavor.
Right, makes sense.
He's gonna stay that way.
God, all they do is the goat guy watches TV and
You're typing on the computer, and that's
the
it.
Twitter guy
God.
just tap 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 tap.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, that clone will maintain the legend for Walk Unnoticed, and if the scene ends, he'll keep it imbued for another scene. He'll just kind of run recon in there.
Okay.
See what info we can get, since we know that the band or the guard put bugs in Telarius's place.
Trying to get the money for that.
Yeah.
No, right, Scions.
Well, they are a company. I mean, they've been doing business.
Mm-hmm. Ask me about my holdings. No, I won't.
Later in the day, the guy on that computer gets a phone call, and it's somebody at clearly on the other end. Somebody's asking for a report. He basically goes, "Yeah, no one else has shown up at the apartment. They just seem to be working on the computer and while the satyr watches TV." Kind of a yes, sir. If anything exciting happens, I will let you know immediately. He gets off the phone, refills his coffee, he's kind of so he puts the headset back on.
Okay. Is it a cell phone that he answered? Or
No, it was like an office phone on the desk.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, so that clone will stay in there and basically do recon.
Okay.
If the guard starts mobilizing for anything hinky.
Okay. All right, Robert, you get up the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna head back into town? Is there any sort of prep that you want to do for whatever coming confrontations there might be?
Robert would like to see about making maybe some better armor than the jacket he's got. See if he can amp it up a little bit, maybe reinforce it, make it a little bit better.
Add some more ceramic plates.
Basically.
Yeah. At the level you guys are at, you can't do anything magical to it.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not
you'd
gonna
have to get outside help to do that. But yeah, I imagine you could do a heavier armor.
Okay.
Like I said, ceramic plates are great for that sort of thing.
That's probably what he would do, is just go and try to amp up his coat, make it a little bit more durable or heavier duty, to where it can take at least a few more hits for him.
Okay. Give me a little crafting roll then.
Sure thing, boss. What will we need for that?
Technology
Technology.
would probably be what it would fall under.
Okay. And what would you like for the
And-
other part to be?
Either intellect or cunning, which is the same for you. So because this is more about figuring out how to do it than it is, can you physically do it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can physically do it without tools, but
Wow. RNG said nope. Or at least RNG said not try Sunny Jim.
Successes?
That's 2 successes. Oops, I closed you and left Robert open. Or Connor open. All right, so that's 2 successes. You've got a workshop you're using, so I'll let you throw the power tools specialty in there. Because you'd be, cutting the plates to particular size and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Measure twice, cut once.
So that gets you up to 3. Trying to see where your armor is.
Well, we all have the extra bit for bruised.
Yeah,
we
that's
have
what
an
it was.
extra
It was the is it soft armor that gives you just the extra health level?
Hard armor.
Hard armor, okay. So yeah, effectively this armor, that'll give you 1 more bruise level when you're wearing this armor. After this session, I might look and see if that would make it, if there's some kind of heavy tag that might give you a disadvantage
There
because
is.
of the weight. But
There is called cumbersome.
okay. What's the penalty on that? Do you know off the top of your head? Or
Let me pull up. I think it's I think it has something to do with taking multiple actions in a round.
okay,
Let me double check.
then we would probably it will give you the extra bruise, but also have the cumbersome. Unless cumbersome it turns out to be something just unreasonable for what you've done.
I don't think it is, but let me.
If he's wearing straight up plate armor, that might be where cumbersome comes into play.
I mean, plate armor is sample armor on here.
Mhm.
Let's see. Oh, there's cumbersome and weighty. There's 2 different ones. Cumbersome armor is big and bulky, imposing a +1 difficulty to any kind of athletic feats performed while wearing it.
Okay. So that would be running,
And-
balance, that sort of thing. Diving or rolling or parkour.
I think anything that involves the athletics.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. So it wouldn't really hurt you as far as throwing a punch or something.
Then there's weighty, which is armor is heavy or tiring to wear. If a character performs extended feats of labor or sleeps in it, they must make a difficulty 3 athletics plus stamina roll or deal with a fatigued condition.
I think we'll go with the weighty. So, running around for extended periods of time in it would be tiring. But getting in your truck and driving across town while wearing it's not going to bother you. It's literally going to be you out doing physical stuff for a long period of time. Or sleeping in it, like it said.
I mean, he'd only wear it knowing, okay, there's possible confrontation. Throw this bad boy on.
Otherwise, it's just, in the truck next to him.
Basically, yeah. Like we all do with our jackets in a vehicle. Just, it's sitting in this chair beside me. It's fine.
Mm.
So, okay, so what would that give me? A +2 to armor or something?
No, it's giving you an extra bruise level.
So
The
you're
way the
getting
hard
a
armor works is essentially giving you extra health. Well, the baseline armor you had already gave you 1 extra bruise, so this gives you another one. So the armor basically takes 2 licks before you actually start taking any of the damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now-
There's a heavy armor health track on the character sheet.
Okay. Now I'm assuming that's at the health part.
Yeah, you just go to add, and then there's bruised, injured, maimed, taken out, and H armor. It's just add an H armor tag. That's another heavy armor, and those go first before anything else.
We've got our tank.
Now he just needs a bigger
Uh.
handgun.
Right. Okay, so just one H armor then, or do I need to add one more?
You already had one.
Yeah,
so
you should have already
two.
had one. Yeah, it's at the bottom of the list.
Alright.
So yeah, you should have 2 now. Yeah, that looks right.
Just adjusting. Okay, cool. And you said we were giving it the weighty tag.
Yes.
Alright. I'm just actually making sure to add the proper things to stuff. Oh god. Cool. Yeah, that's probably because I mean, I know melee wise he has the specialty of pistol, but I'm sitting here wondering if I actually should think about giving him a melee weapon. Of course, it wouldn't have nothing imbued to it. It would just be a basic thing.
Well, yeah, because with the pistol specialty in close combat, that
That
gives
allows
you a
me to-
bump to pistol whip somebody. But the pistol itself isn't giving you a bump for being, a weapon, because that's not really what it's designed to do. Where if you had, if you made yourself a mace or a hammer or, brass knucks.
I think with his master of weapons, he gave it the melee tag, so it does double as a melee.
Oh, did he?
weapon, I
Okay, that's
believe.
right.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, I think I remember him mentioning before that it had a melee tag now. Well, never mind then. Forget I said that.
Oh yeah. But with your permission, I think I actually might do that. Just literally make him another hammer.
Okay.
If there's the time and resources to do it.
Sure. I wouldn't imagine, as long as you've got the materials, I wouldn't imagine something as basic as a hammer would be that time consuming.
Okay.
Just imagining a full-on warhammer.
Mm-hmm. No, it would be Warhammer or like a one-handed Warhammer with runes.
Nah,
He would go all out. He would decorate it right.
I'm just picturing his next confrontation with Dixie. Hey, here's one of them weapons you wanted. Whack!
I can believe it.
Actually, yes.
Give it time.
It's like, hey Dixie, it's not imbued with magic, crack, but it still works.
But mass plus velocity is its own magic.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, so getting around noon, is there any trying to think of what I'm trying to think of here, or what I'm trying to say here. There's a couple of things that y'all are planning to look into. Do you want to take an active approach to either tracking down the Varangians or finding out what's going on with Sandquist?
I mean, Robert would be up for either, but if there was one, say like Connor or Telerius thought was more pressing than the other, then he'd be fine with working on either project.
Honestly, Connor would be more towards we need to deal with the Varangian band before they get out of hand.
Yes, but also that is true. But also, there's not a whole lot the three of us can do at the moment.
Oh yeah.
There's also the thing of I don't want to do that without them.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point, man. Fair point.
But
You
as far as
don't necessarily have to go jump the Varangians as soon as
Honestly,
you figure out kind of where they're hanging out.
So Telarius is going to, with it between like three of their knacks and boons, they're going to activate Rumor Miller and just start like this just get on their shit talking account again and just start like the most wow, I had a word and I lost it. Just smack talking the Varangian band. Like these people are the worst. People said that they consorted with I've done this every other time I've used Rumor Miller, so I'm gonna do it this time. They've consorted with demons. And I'll put some like tidbits of truth in there, just enough that the people who know. But some of it's like wild accusations with not a whole lot of proof.
They convert with beasts of the field.
Next skill roll, so online, so it'll be technology, probably culture, or sorry, technology and like manipulation. That's my next skill roll.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's one of those where I just have to get a success, and I got a success. With 10 dice.
Dragon Magpie suggests that you accuse them of having eaten your cat.
Yeah, they ate my cat.
No, they
don't
stole
even
your
like
cat.
cats.
That's where the office cat came from for the Varangian Guard.
My cat's gone. I went and took a road trip, came back, and my cat's gone. Like my satyr, my companion was in jail.
I'm just imagining like you just like hop on that Discord and it's just like that beam of the cat going on the laptop. Because with the way that Discord's been going to war, it probably would not be hard at all.
But anyway, the rumors Telarius starts, they take off like wildfire.
Yep.
Not everybody's believing them, but everybody's spreading them.
Good.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if people are believing them. It's going to get to the It's going to at some point get to the Varangian band, and they're going to see it, and they're going to see other people either agreeing with it or just spreading it,
arguing about it.
Yep.
Some people are starting to question, basically, would now be a good time to, take a trip elsewhere. Are we about to have two bands of these guys fighting it out in our city?
Also, that is not a Telarius account. That's not Telarius's main account. They were using an alt account.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that alt account would be like, yes, get out if you value everything. Get the fuck out.
Flee for your lives.
Flee for your lives. Yeah.
What was that?
Someone had a voice clip for like a second. But yeah, that's them. They're like, yeah, shit's about to go down. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, one bit of news does float across the social media. It crops up on the TVs, the radios. Apparently, through the night, there was a cryptid hunter sort of group that had taken a boat out on the lake.
Oh, great.
There were a dozen or so of them, working the thing. They were attacked by something, and 7 members were taken away.
Taken away?
Snatched off the boat, from what their story is.
There are survivors?
Yes. Like I said, there was around a dozen, 10 or 11 at least, people on the boat.
Does it say where they're being held?
Well, it just said they made it back to the dock, and then they called the police.
I told you not to go to the lake. I do not recognize the bodies in the lake. I do not recognize the bodies in the lake.
Well, you were suggesting that, and when you suggested it at the big meeting, I think it was Penelope that said they would talk, that her band would talk to the mayor about, getting the Parks and Recs people to kind of close the lake down. Guess what didn't happen?
Yeah. That's gonna add to the smear campaign later. They said they had your best interests at heart. They said they were going to close down the lake. Now look what happened. People are dead or missing.
Oh, excuse me. Maybe it was 6 people, not 7, I think.
Sure.
There's a very specific number that, Yeah, I believe it's 6. Irregardless, that is a big news story that kind of breaks in and it breaks up the 2-band drama that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it does
people
pop up
died.
and it does pop. Well, they don't know that they're dead. They haven't found the bodies yet. The Parks and Rec guys have taken boats out to, dredge.
Look, there's an arm.
Say they did say that they would do it on that recording.
Yep.
So
it's on the footage.
So I imagine that would pop up at some point.
We're gonna talk to the mayor. I'm gonna clip that part of the video and then just put the article of like people missing from excursion to lake.
Within an hour or so, that you have somebody questioning the mayor. At kind of a typical, meeting where he usually speaks with the press. But he throws up the flat out, kind of no comment at this time.
No comment at this time.
Yeah.
No comment at this
So
time.
he doesn't say whether they talked to him or whether they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Public opinion tanking. Ooh, we love to see it.
Yeah, he's getting drug into this to some degree.
Find out the mayor's a scion. I'm gonna shoot him.
That seems hateful.
I'm sorry.
He's obviously on the take.
That just 100% threw me right off, Dick.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
just
gonna lie.
just out of the blue, just like
It's me, Jeremy. That's not hilarious.
I'm gonna shoot him. What?
That's me, Jeremy. That's not hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah.
Gotcha.
wouldn't think-
I mean, you're good. Like I said, it just 100% threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. My brain was not ready. Oh God, that was a good laugh. Woo! Thank you.
All right, so is Robert going to head back into town? Or I guess I should say, what are Tellarius is continuing their smear campaign, but what are the rest of you planning to do?
Well, let's see. How's the whole bit with Connor's lawyer happening? How's that going?
He is basically writing out, kind of plotting a lawsuit against the city.
Okay.
His question to Connor would be essentially, what do you want out of this? Are you just wanting to sue them for money? Are you wanting to start a criminal investigation? Is that what you want to push for?
Uh, he wouldn't mind having some kind of legal response to the ones that are have obviously been bribed. And he would mention there was that one investigator that came in that very obviously was. And he'd given the name, although the player, doesn't remember it.
That's fine. I mean, you give him everything you have that, that seems bad. The specific names that people look at.
Yeah.
But he's planning to really publicize everything, keep it in the public eye, with members of the of law enforcement already kind of causing a stink over what some of these guys were doing. He's excited to see what the internal affairs investigation is going to uncover. They haven't officially started one yet, but it really looks like it's going to. Yeah.
Okay, makes
He'll
sense.
use the lawsuit to try to kind of push the city into doing that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it hasn't happened yet. He said the mayor seems to be throwing up roadblocks. Not little roadblocks. He's like making
excuses.
Yeah, he's making it drag. He's making the bureaucracy drag its feet.
Right.
Almost like there's someone who could get through the red tape.
Yeah. Yeah, and Connor would mention some avenues that he know of that could kind of get around the red tape legally. With him having Tianming, he would probably know that.
Well, you're sticking a lawyer on it.
Yeah.
So that is you kind of directly interacting with it now. So yeah, any complications that get thrown up, your lawyer should be able to bulldoze through pretty easily.
Fair enough.
You're using your lawyer as a conduit.
I absolutely okay. Yeah, I'll take that. That's fair.
I'm not actually rolling dice with the lawyer, but if it were actually dice rolling, he would literally be ignoring any complications that would complicate it. But or make it more difficult.
I was gonna say you don't really need to roll dice because Tianming. So you just like
no. The way that ability works is he ignores complications when working with the bureaucracy. So it's not that somebody in the bureaucracy can't work against him.
It just takes it's
anything
much harder.
They do that would give him a complication, though. Yeah, he gets to roll like normal.
Yeah.
But this is story fluff, so his lawyer's just having a really easy time getting through this.
Really OP ability in America.
Sick a lawyer on it.
Yep.
So yeah. As a consequence, the police are not really looking for any of you guys very heavily.
Okay.
Oh, Dragon Magpie's out here. Thanks for coming by. Hope you had fun.
See ya.
Take care.
Alrighty. Say after that, he'd probably talk to him like, hey, so when it comes to this other band of Scions, it's entirely likely that it's going to turn into a us or them scenario. As in, it probably wouldn't be very surprising at all if it turned out to be that way. And what the potential backlash of that does he believe what that might be?
Well, if it comes out that the Varangian band has been trying to frame you, and they pick the fight, or we can spin it like they picked the fight, you'd be okay. I mean, if they attack you, it's self-defense.
Right.
Right. The legal system is also very hesitant to deal with inter-scion conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't just murder somebody in the streets.
Yeah.
But any kind of self-defense claim would probably work as long as you can show that they were the aggressor.
Gotcha.
Or, of course, if you could prove that they're involved with whatever that is out in the lake. Then, even if it went to some kind of trial, nobody in the city would convict you.
Yeah. I'd imagine not. Okay. And he'd explain, like, yeah, it's from the looks of things, it looks like it's going to be like a band of scions from gods versus a band of scions from titans. And it's not going to end well for anybody.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Just for the record, there's no legal distinction between God and Titan, in the Mortal Legal Code. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yet.
The unfortunate part, though, is that
Though if we wound up in front of a jury, I could argue that they were really monsters. Maybe I could work with that. Try not to let it come to that, but I have your back if it does.
Yeah, he'll just say, just so we're on the up and up, because you're my lord. I want to be honest with you here. It's just so you have everything you need to work with. There's been a war between gods and titans for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this is probably just going to be another fight in that war.
Okay. Well, he will leave the monster fighting to you, and
yeah,
you just call him when you need his particular brand of expertise.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you leave the monster fighting to me, and I'll leave the courtroom fighting to you.
That, Mr. Hughes, sounds like a plan.
We all have our own battlefields.
Then, he eventually gets off the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Once again, I'm dragging you over here. What are y'all planning to do? I know why we've been dragging our feet. We were hoping other folks, we were hoping another member could show up, but
now I have to go, so probably not.
The thing is apparently the Karen, is the only title I will give her, decided to show up like an hour late. So she's still there right now.
Yeah. That's what I gathered. I mean, not to put anybody's business out there.
Yeah, that's why.
Family commitments can bite you in the butt. That's all we'll say.
That's why I was being big.
As far as what we're gonna do, I think it would behoove us to find probably where these people are most likely to hang out.
Okay.
Well, there's that, and since we're missing several, we could deal with the ghost situation too.
How many of y'all can see ghosts?
Exactly.
Fuck, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's better for us to just do the early bits of trying to track these people and seeing where they ran off to, since ostensibly the places that they held business are burned down now.
Well, the only place that burned down that they held, because the Varangian Guard's office is still there. Kim's dojo burned.
Good riddance.
And I want to say last week either last week or the week before, you found an address in Othras that belonged to Chad.
Ooh,
was last week.
Specifically, it was a trailer park.
of course it was.
Yes.
But yeah, that and the dojo are the only like physical, well, and the guards' office is the only like physical areas property that you know of tied to any of the Varangians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it possible Monkey Man clone knows of something? Question mark. Or might have learned something since he's staying vigil.
Yeah, would there be anything that the clone could use to figure out a potential lead by basically hanging out in the guard headquarters? Just sort of occasionally walking around looking like he belongs, because with Walk Unnoticed, he kind of totally does.
Well, yeah, nobody notices you're there.
Yeah, he's so nondescript that no one notices he's there.
Well, that little bullpen area, you know, that I said had several. There's like 4 desks.
Yeah.
That the one guardsman is at the one keeping up, you know, with the now fake audio feed from Delirious' apartment.
Right.
But those other 3 desks all have computers on them.
Yeah, he'll sit down at one, look like he belongs.
All right. Give me a technology. Subterfuge, I guess. No, wait, that's 2 different skills. It'd be technology and a stat. Intellect.
Okay, so I'm just rolling intellect.
You're not a computer guy, you know.
No, I'm not.
But
I got 2 successes. Yeah.
So the first one you sit down at, you can't get past the password.
It's not password 1.
Nope. However, when you check, you check that desk. The second desk you check, though, when you're going through the desk, you find a notepad where somebody's got their password written down.
Of course.
It's a couple, it's on like the second page of the notepad. The notepad was in a drawer, They thought they were being sneaky. But that gets you into the into the computer. You start poking around in like the address book for the company. You find, listed under Chad, you find a cell phone number as well as a number associated with that address that the trailer park's at.
Okay.
Maybe the park has got like a little office, or maybe it's just one of the trailers there has got a landline phone, or you assume it's a landline.
Gotcha.
And this just in, ladies and gentlemen, we may be getting an archer. I repeat, we may be getting an archer. Please stay tuned.
Oh, good. I'm glad she's feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she, I was worried she was about to be in full-blown migraine mode of close everything, make it as dark as possible. I do not wish to see the world.
Yeah, headaches are rough.
But I generally can say I have the pleasure of only just the worst I ever get is just very severe headaches. I can't say I've had a full-blown migraine where light, sound, and all that has affected me to where I'm like, no, I must disappear.
Oh yeah, I've never had one of those. My mother has had migraines off and on when I was younger.
Generally, I can take an ibuprofen and I'll be fine within a little while.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
But anyway, you find that under Chad. You find, the number for the dojo under Kim. Also, you find a cell phone for all the Varangians.
Okay. I will copy that info.
It is different from the cell phones they've given you.
Understandable.
At a glance, it still looks like a cell phone. Cell phone numbers probably, but
It's like a burner phone or something.
Possibly. It's got the same prefix as the other numbers you had for them.
Right.
You also find an address and a phone number for a spot west of town.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you glance at the map, it's like way over here.
Yeah.
That just says the ranch.
Hello.
Huh.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Are we feeling a little better?
Yeah, we definitely are.
Hell
Excellent.
yeah.
All right, so to catch you up, let's see. Robert has created some new armor for himself. Talarius is starting a smear campaign.
Okay.
Six people were snatched off a boat in the lake through the night.
Oh,
Because Penelope can't do her job, quote unquote.
Or probably.
Or
didn't
is she
do
doing her
anything
job?
intentionally?
Oh no, I know.
But let's see. And I reminded them that they had discovered a trailer park in Othris that is owned by Chad. Connor has gotten into the Varangian Guard's base. He's gotten into their computer, and they're currently looking at phone numbers and addresses for the Varangian Guard.
okay.
There is a ranch, or a place labeled the ranch, that's west of the city that they've just discovered.
Okay.
There's nothing in there tells you what it is. It's just the name is listed under is the ranch, and there's an address and a phone number.
Okay. So there's absolutely nothing that sort of says, hey, this is what this place does.
Nope.
Kind of a thing.
Even if we were to look up the address online.
The address is listed online, but it's not listed as a business or anything.
No, but there's a wonderful thing called Google Maps.
And
Yeah.
when you pull that up, it looks like it's an old ranch.
Okay.
I mean, you got kind of the decent, good sized ranch style house, large fenced areas.
Mm-hmm. But
Can
this,
we real time it to see if anybody's there right now?
Google Maps doesn't update quite that quickly.
You gonna send a drone out there?
Do you have drones that can send out that far?
I don't. That's why I'm asking. I don't have one yet. That's not a bad idea. I'll keep that in my hat for next session.
Yeah.
But even on the Google Maps, you can kind of tell that most of the property doesn't really look used. Though you see there's a vehicle or two parked out in front of the house in the picture. So.
Do we recognize the vehicles?
The picture's not quite that precise.
Okay.
You can kind of make out their color, and that's about it.
is there a street view that's been through there?
Yeah. Again, you don't know how recent it is, but it would give you, a good enough look at the house that you'd recognize it if you drove by.
Okay. Cool.
And looking at that, yes, it looks like it looks like right around the house is being kept up pretty well, and it's just a little grown out. And what was clearly the pasture is just a little grown up.
All right. Interesting. Anything else you can find on the other band on these computers?
Let's see. No, the only place listed for Kim was the dojo. There was no address listed for Dixie at all.
Okay.
For Penelope, there is also an address over in Others.
All right. So he'd make a copy of that info and pocket the little sticky note that he wrote it all on.
Mm-hmm.
And me mentally planning,
Mm.
like in real time.
We
You
hear
can
the
watch the
we can
gears
hear
turning.
the gears turning to nothing. I hear the hamster wheel. It needs oiling.
Yeah. Please hold where party is reached. Unfortunately, my brain no longer has an extended warranty, though. Okay, PDF, come on, stop lagging. There we go.
We have the information. We don't want to do anything with it just yet. But having it
Yeah.
is good.
It is.
Well, you may not want to attack yet, but you can always do surveillance.
Mm.
I will spend 1 legend.
Okay.
Oh.
And channeling into Tianming, I am going to use Vermilion Tape.
All right. What does that do?
Indefinite duration, subject 1 organization. Place a curse on a bureaucracy or similarly structured organization from within range of either its leader or its headquarters. I meant its headquarters.
Okay.
Any member of the organization conducting its official business faces a +4 complication. If the complication is not bought off, the task either takes significantly longer than intended, enough that it occurs narratively too late, or it turns out to be misunderstood, resulting in an end product or accomplishment that is not what the character originally intended.
Okay.
And at the end bit, I am not specifying a behavior that lets a character ignore the complication. No, actually, no. The one behavior I will allow the complication to be ignored is if a member of the guard is saving a civilian life.
Okay.
They will be able to ignore the complication with that, but everything else that they do, +4 complication.
So if stuff started going down and some of them decided to actually help civilians, they have no issues.
Right.
If they were bodyguarding a customer, essentially a client, no problems. If they got sicked on somebody, well, okay.
Yeah.
They go to the wrong address, or they don't get the call, or the text don't go through, or
Or if the band calls them in as backup, there's the cell service is suddenly bad.
Oh yeah, the local tower went down.
Go surveil on someone. Go eat a snail? That's weird.
Yeah.
Or they go surveillance, but but everybody watching the play just happens to be looking away.
All right.
When that person leaves the house, they never realize it.
Sarah says ETA 12 minutes.
Okay. All right. So
yeah.
Let me jot down that you have laid a curse.
A curse. I get that it actually is a curse, but it's weird to like my brain, where my brain goes when I think of cursed and where my brain goes when I think of like a business are 2 different places. To have them combined is fascinating.
Yeah.
Laid a curse upon the Varangian Guard. Now I'm thinking of the movie Michael, where he walked in and smoked the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, Connor, one of his things is deal with the Varangian Guard, and he figures this is the best way to deal with the Guard in a non-lethal manner, is to basically just make them so damn incompetent that they can't do anything, they can't interfere.
Now that he's had a night to calm down, now he's thinking non-lethally.
Murder!
Oh, yeah.
The random guy that helped us fight werewolves, oh yeah. He's dead as disco.
Off that one guy.
Well, that was like a the betrayal backstab had just happened. The wound was fresh, and
It's a
now
man of passion.
and well, he absolutely
And
is.
he was one of the confident. He was the one that managed to shoot a werewolf a couple of times. Yeah, he's got to go.
Yeah. I mean, is it Ying or Yang that is the passionate, bombastic side? I can never remember.
It's probably Young.
Yang. Yeah, Connor is definitely 100% like Yang side of that spectrum. But yeah, since having dealt with the Oracle, because like his thing is he wants to outright just off the Oracle, kill her, just Oracle's 8-year-old kid, blind, and he's just like,
Okay, no.
maybe I need to not just take this murder train and just shove it down the tracks, you know?
Character development, y'all.
Maybe
Getting
I
it in
need
real
to
time.
maybe I need to just pick it up and aim it specifically at the band and just drop it on them instead.
All right. Do you want to check out any of these other locations?
But that clone will leave after cursing them, and bring. He'll actually head to Talarius's apartment,
Hmm.
since real Connor noticed them leaving, and he'll hand the paper to Talarius.
So this,
That is, except for Dixie, and technically except for Kim, all the other band's addresses, phone number, probably burner phone, potentially, but possibly real phone, and then there's this place out to the west of the city called The Ranch that was kind of unlisted. But
I don't like I don't like any implications of a place called the Ranch.
that's literally just what it's called.
I understand. Just
I also cursed the guard.
so you didn't go in and like launch a nuke.
Well, I mean, I am just a clone, so if I, in theory, pulled on a little bit of power to create a suicide bomber vest and just detonate it, I could do it no problem. And I was actually considering it.
Sure, I understand.
But-
I remember how angry you were the other day.
Yeah.
What really saved them was the office cat.
So instead, I just, had a cat bite one of the guards.
That doesn't sound like a curse.
Also, I'm assuming the bugs are not replaying.
No,
this
the
info.
bugs are like playing like ambient like typing noise, and
Okay.
every now and again you hear they would hear Samuel just bust out like a gut laugh,
Okay.
like oh shit.
Well, so me just the player just double checking, making sure that's a thing happening here.
Yeah.
Because Connor would be totally like all like "Rrr," knowing that there's bugs in the place.
I would explain that. I would just
Yeah.
be like, yeah, it's just playing ambient noise.
Okay. Also the guard that got bit was the one that was listening in on the bugs.
Oh, nice.
But no, you know how sometimes bureaucracy like the DMB can be really, really, really slow.
I've gotten my license before once when I was 16. Yes.
Yeah, amp that up to like god tier divinity curse and just drop it on them.
Ew. It's a level of incompetence I do not want to deal with.
Well, we probably won't have to. And it is. We can probably thank Sasha for that one, actually. Well, actually, I probably thank all of you for it for calming me down a bit. Mostly Sasha.
I'm sure seeing an 8-year-old had nothing to do with it.
Absolutely not. That was the best way I could think of to get them out of the way without, just nuking the building.
Well, I'm proud of you for your restraint.
Yeah, I'm not exactly known for it.
No, you're not. It's good. It's development, right? Like even stray hair from the Monkey King needs to develop a little bit.
Yeah, I just pulled the murder train off the tracks, and I'll just bonk the band with it when we find them.
Yeah, you hold that energy, hold it on for when we need to use it.
Oh, Shauna and I are going to get into a competition.
Absolutely. And one of you is going to like destroy a whole thing, and the other one's going to be like, that still counts as one.
It's probably going to happen. she can use a lot of fire now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, people online have been like, I've been spooking a little bit people, but also I've been the people who have been online have been like, "Hey, two bands here and they don't like each other. Should we leave?" Yes, you should
Yeah.
leave.
Also, I did talk to my lawyer a bit. He is on our side and say we should try to not immediately jump to it, but he's putting an argument together in case it goes to lethal force with the other band, which it more than likely will. it Kim's involved. It's going to be lethal force. Hell, Dixie's involved. It's going to be lethal force.
Yeah, but you're involved. It's going to be lethal force.
Well, I have to choose for it to be lethal force, as because that staff that Prime Me has doesn't exactly deal lethal damage unless I intend it to. In its natural state, it only does non-lethal damage, just a lot of it. They might be
gonna
regretting their life choices for the rest of their potentially short lives, but the wounds I inflict won't kill them.
Ah, Batman logic. Got it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to kill you. This hospital bill will.
Yeah, like this dude totally lives when I shoot them with a beanbag round out of a tank cannon.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's
Okay.
logical.
Yeah.
Have you played that game?
But yeah, everything's good here. I've been hanging out. Did we check on where's Robert? I haven't seen him in a bit.
According to Prime Me, he's been working on some armor for a hot minute at my place.
See if he needs a home. Might be good to mass produce that.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to snooping.
All right.
And just being
I thought you were gonna like do the thing where I need to like poke you and like pop you out of, but no.
I mean, if it comes down to a fight, 5 of me running around is a pretty good hand to play.
Yeah, it is. It's something.
Catch you later. And
See ya.
he'll steal one of the things of like mango tea that I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
you saying like at the
There's-
beginning of the campaign you keep stocked in the fridge.
There are like 6 different flavors of like. There's 6 different flavors of teas now, and there's like frozen Pop Tarts and stuff.
Yeah, he's stealing a mango tea and popping it open as he leaves. Whereas Prime Connor then goes to Robert. Hey Robert, what you doing down here?
Right. He'll like lay the coat out and everything. It's like I've been cutting plates to make the coats a bit better, or at least been working
Oh.
on my coat to make it a little bit better. It's he'll pick it up and like kind of show off like it's a bit weighty, so it
Right.
might cause a few complications, but hey, the possibility of taking a little bit more extra damage for us before it goes to pot, I think it's a little bit of a benefit.
Probably couldn't hurt. So you're gonna be on the front lines with me then, given my armor.
Yeah, and he'll scramble off to the side and like slide an object over, and you'll see essentially a one-handed warhammer on the table. It's like, yeah, I have my pistol. That's great for when I need to be engaging at a range, but at some point, it's not gonna hurt to actually be up in the melee. And he's like, I may not have your stupid strength, but I'd like to think I'm not too scrawny to where I couldn't throw down if I need to.
Well, I remember you telling me you put some of your own blessing in that pistol. You could put like maybe like a rune of your own craft marking your blessing on the hammer and give it some extra power. I mean, and he'll pull out his staff and extend it, and there's a sort of like a monkey like crudely drawn onto the staff, which is Connor's mark. Like this one, for instance, I imbued some of my own calling, my own knack as a warrior into the staff, sort of added on to its power. beyond what father put into it.
I mean, 'tis a possibility, but he smiles and gestures to like possibly the tools that are showed about and everything. It's like, but do keep in mind, I never was much of a fighter. A craftsman is more of my forte, so it'd be nice if this hammer could have a little bit extra kick. But he's like, the most I can probably make it do is throw up a building in one single swing. But that,
Mm,
that's a
you
bit much.
underestimate yourself. I mean, you're being a craftsman, yes, but you are still a child of the Aesir. Through most of the legends I've looked into, they are very heavy on like the warrior side. Fighting up close and personal is kind of in your blood. Tell you what. He'll come over. He'll set his staff down. Let's work on getting that. Let's work on getting a mark on there, getting you a little bit of more power into that hammer.
I mean, ain't like I've got nothing else to lose. At least it's a better melee weapon than the butt end of my pistol.
That's true, and then you can still use the pistol at range. So you have options then.
Yeah, it's nice to have more offensive options than just yes, it's either use gun or butt of gun.
So either way, it's going to be use gun. It's just the application of gun.
Basically.
All right, Telarius, do you send out that information that Connor gave you to everybody else?
Oh, absolutely. Make sure it's within the group chat. Yes.
Okay.
What I do before that is I'll like verify, trust but verify. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, are any of you going to do any kind of surveillance? I know Connor's got multiple clones around.
Let's say I did.
Rappy's with us now, so Jaden can get up to something.
Let's say his clone was going to. That's why he left Telarius' apartment. He's just taking his time enough to finish the tea before he imbues some power and zips off.
All right, so which spot is he checking?
See, he's in the city. The other two places are in Othrys, which is closer to the Prime. So he's actually going to head west to the ranch.
Okay.
Since that's the closest location to him.
Now, Jaden, you're the other fast member of the band. Is there one of these spots that you'd want to check out?
Which spot is he checking out again?
All right, he's checking out the ranch, which is over to the west of the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well outside the city, out in the county.
Okay.
The other two spots are the trailer park in Othrys that's owned by Chad, and then there's an address for an apartment in Othrys that is was listed under Penelope's name.
We're going to check out the apartment.
Okay.
Why is it that I'm sitting here imagining that the trailer park is literally just all of Chad's wives and kids?
That
I'm sorry.
I
That's
mean,
where
to
my
keep the
mind's
kids
going.
all together, you never know.
Family's important.
But anyway, Jason, what I was referring to, since I know Duba's character does have the knack, because he and I have discussed it before, is the warrior knack master of weapons.
Okay.
It's not the beginning of the session, but can choose a weapon to be a favored weapon, add a number of additional tag points to it up to your warrior calling, and it does not have to fit the weapon profile.
Okay.
You can make that Warhammer a shoot gun.
I mean, in theory, yes, he could.
Well, that'd be like making a gun sword. You know, it's just a gun built into the thing.
Yeah. Like one of the examples said, a sword could be made to strike at far range, for example.
Wasn't that something? Was that something the sword could do in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Or am I thinking of some other movie?
It's every anime I've ever watched, so take your pick.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Wind scarf.
But
yeah, if you don't mind real quick, Duba and I could hash out what tags he wants to put on the hammer.
Well, let's let Jaden do something
I would
over
say
at the apartment.
at some point
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could do that.
It's definitely something we need to do before we get into any big fights.
Mhm.
Uh,
I give you guess a dexterity survival or subterfuge.
all right.
You know,
Are you trying to sneak into the apartment, or are you staking the apartment out, or peeking through a window?
Staking the apartment out, but without being seen.
Gotcha. Yeah, without being seen part would involve subterfuge. You've got the sneaking specialty, so that would factor into it. And we will use your cunning because it's kind of a finesse thing.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4 successes. So I got the +1 general enhancement with the bow I always carry.
All right, so he got 1 success. So. All right, so you're staking the spot out. Kind of like when you went to the apartment the Oracle was at.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a well, that place was kind of run down and beat up. Now, what was it? I believe it was a 4-story building. You know, this is one of those little 2-story. It's a 2-story building, clearly broken into like 4 units. You know, pretty typical design. In a slightly better neighborhood. But like that one that the Oracle was in, there's a guy just kind of sitting out front.
Gotcha.
You know, he's on the 2nd floor. You know, sitting just kind of in a lawn chair out in front of one of the windows. You know, just looks like he's playing on the phone. But as you're watching him, though, you notice that, you know, any kind of movement on the street, and he's watching it, you know, he's on guard and trying to look casual about it.
Gotcha.
And not doing a terrible job.
Mm-hmm.
You're not 100% sure, but he may have been one of the Varangian guard that you met.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it was kind of dark at the werewolf fight, but, you know, he looks kind of familiar.
Okay. What about on the other side of the building?
You don't really see anybody there. While you're staying out, you see a couple of people. This is, like I said, he was on the 2nd floor. You see a couple people come and go from the bottom floor, but it looks like just typical folk.
Okay. She'll put in the group message. They have surveillance. The same at the other place.
pipe in with not for long. They don't. Not doing anything yet, but you know.
No, she means like a person sitting out there, like at the.
Is Chad out there?
No, one of their hires.
Oh. I'm less worried about them.
But the back seems clear.
Good to know.
Oh, I forgot to put his complications on him.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd have actually had -3 successes. My bad.
Jeez.
Okay. Well,
Make
since
a loud noise and
Jaden,
there's a truck that just drives by.
since there's nobody in the back, Jaden will try to see if she can go in through the back.
Okay. Oh, give me an athletics. Oh, you've actually got climbing. That'll work. With your dexterity.
Five successes.
Okay. The apartment has a little, just a little balcony off the back. There's a dead body plant out there that, looked old enough. It's probably been here through a few tenants.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a sliding glass door that steps out into it.
And then, and anybody near there?
You don't see anybody. You don't see any lights on. You peek through. It opens up into like the kitchenette, and you see like the microwave clock. The apartment's clearly got power, but you don't see any lights turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
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 I give long distance hug.
Yes.
Indeed,
Oh,
indeed.
That's
Long distance group hug.
Long distance group hug. Just pat,
Yes,
pat,
yes,
pat.
yes. All the paps.
I'm getting into Twitch.
Have you been caught up?
I've been kind of kept abreast. The Telarius' apartment was bugged. We traced that back to the Varangian band. Found their phones and addresses. Scylla ate 6 people.
Whoa. 6 people got snatched off a boat. That's all you really know.
Well,
Make
allegedly ate 6 people.
And Jaden is currently over the address that is under Penelope's name.
About to do some breaking and entering. Or maybe, I don't know.
Everyone
Yeah.
likes a little beanie.
Yes.
Bacon and eggs?
Yes. bacon and
Absolutely.
eggs is the best.
That's totally what we're doing. We're
Yep.
bringing them bacons and eggs.
Alright, are you breaking into the apartment?
Yeah. Well, let's see. There's no security anything, right?
You
can't
don't see any cameras mounted or, there's no security sticker on the window or anything.
Roll
Okay.
perception. Be a good rogue.
Right. Okay,
Look
so
for
we
traps.
will attempt to break and enter.
Okay. Give me technology.
Subterfuge?
Well, that'd be another skill. Now this is to figure out the lock.
Dexterity?
Cunning.
Oh, is it an electric lock?
No, it's just a little slide. The lock on a sliding glass door. So
Oh, that's just.
be dexterity or cunning, I suppose. We'll go with cunning for you to figure out.
Oh, I did dexterity.
Well, it doesn't matter. You got the same. It's the same score now that I'm looking at it. So.
5 successes.
Oh yeah, it's a little cheapy lock. It don't take you much. You get.
Talking a lot of shit. They should probably have better locks.
Honestly.
It sounds like you may have broke something, but that's after you got it clicked open, so you may not be able to relock it. But well, I take that back. With that many successes, you probably did it a lot smoother than that. So yeah, you slide the door open.
Okay, and she's gonna, walk into the area, kind of look around, slowly walking around, looking.
Like I said, you step into it's a little kitchenette area that you step into. There's a few dishes in the drainer.
Any pictures anywhere?
There are no pictures on the wall. There's very little decoration in here at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the kitchenette, there's a microwave. There's a little coffee pot. If you glance in the refrigerator, there's some tea. Like some canned tea. Actually, there's not a coffee pot. There's a teapot because she was a tea drinker. but there's no like fresh food in there or anything, or milk or anything that would, anything you would need to use quickly. There's no leftovers sitting in there. It's pretty bare. The entire apartment seems pretty bare. You step into the living room. Now there is a bookcase with a bunch of books. There's stuff on like the coffee table. It's not that it doesn't look lived in. It's just like there's no family photos. You quickly discover there's nobody in the apartment currently.
Okay.
Now, one thing that there is, because this apartment has a, it's got the kitchenette, living room, and there's a really stumpy little hallway with a bathroom at the end and like a bedroom on either side. One of the bedrooms is actually being used as a bedroom. You glance in there, yeah, it's clearly her room. Every time you've seen her, she's been wearing, dark colored clothes, lots of dark colored clothes. It's like a goth teenager's closet. Always with like the dark skirts that she wears.
Mhm.
The other room is relatively empty. Though up against one wall, there is a family shrine sort of thing. Like the old Greeks used to keep. Where you had like little figurines representing your parents or your patron deities or,
And can she figure out from that who her... Because we still haven't really figured out, right? We assume.
Well,
we don't.
Everybody, with her, you've been assuming some kind of sea god. And more recently, you're assuming a titan, just because everybody else in that band seems to be tied to a titan. What you do see that catches your attention right away is a figurine. I don't know if you can see in the chat, but a figurine that looks something like that. Or not in the chat, in my window. I don't know if you got Zoom open or not.
Oh.
Okay. I have
They shut it for
the...
you.
Okay.
I have the Twitch open to
Okay.
see.
Is that Scylla?
That is absolutely Scylla.
Oh, okay.
Little family reunion going on in the lake.
Jaden will snap a photo, put it into the group chat.
Now, that's not the only figurine there, but that's the only one you can clearly identify as some sort of mythological figure.
And, well, she'll take a picture of the shrine and then take a more close of that and be like, looky what I found.
There's little offerings around. I forget exactly what the Greeks left, but it's it's very very obviously Greek motifed. There's some olive oil, there's some wine.
Question: to destroy her shrine or not?
Oh. It's a shrine, so you might not be just angering her. You might be angering God.
That's why she's contemplating it,
It would be considered uncouth, but there might not be any actual repercussions. Who knows?
Sure.
Look,
maybe
Jesus
not
pushed the table.
Maybe not destroy, but hide something.
Just flips over or knocks over all the figurines.
Everybody's just taking a nap now. Turn them all on their side.
They're to the side. Yeah.
Or just turn them all around so when she comes and kneels in front of it, everybody's turned their back on.
Could be considered a bad omen. In certain cultures.
Just write goodbye on there.
Right, have a Sharpie just write, let me see.
Don't actually do that.
No, she won't. But,
or do.
But the turning them around sounds like a good idea. She'd go into her bag for gloves that she keeps in it, and she'll put them on, and they cover everything, so she'll turn all of the statues.
Breaking in? Not worried about the gloves. Touching a shrine? Let's put on gloves.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll keep the curses away.
And then she'll see if she can find anything else in the apartment. So.
Like I said, you see a lot of books. You find some laptop paraphernalia, but you don't see an actual laptop. There's like what might be an extra charger or one of those like little lap desks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pillow on the bottom or whatever.
Yeah.
That might be sitting on the couch in the living room. Like I said, in the living room, there's a big old bookcase full of books. A lot of it on like mythological type stuff, from a wide variety of pantheons, though.
Okay.
Truthfully, it looks like something you'd expect Sasha to have.
Yeah.
It looks like research material.
Checks out.
Yeah, and Penelope being the research person for this band, it does check out.
Now, one of the books she's got sitting on the coffee table is it's like a history of the area around here.
Mm-hmm.
The page she's got marked is talking about when they dammed the river and created the lake. It's talking about a small town that's up under the lake. Everybody in the town had to move, before they put the dam in. And they just, they moved up on higher ground and just kept the same town name. Though it was one of the little communities that was destroyed, just prior to, the attack that caused the building of Olympus destroyed the newer town. And the page is marked with a photo of a man. It's the only photo you found in the apartment.
Okay, so she'll take pictures of the book, of the page number, and of the photo.
Okay. The photo is it's a guy in a Polaroid. I mean, it's like a Polaroid picture from, I don't know, back whenever they had Polaroids.
Mm-hmm.
They still do.
They're making a comeback.
Oh, are they? Okay. I thought they had died out.
No, they hadn't.
Oh, okay.
No,
They're making a comeback.
My cousin
Everything
took
goes.
pictures at my niece's birthday party and literally was doing the classic take a shot and everything for a Polaroid. I was
And
like,
shake it,
I was
even though
like,
you don't actually
"Oh."
have to shake
the
it.
picture. Yeah, and shake the picture.
The
Yeah,
Polaroid company does not recommend shaking it like a Polaroid picture.
Mhm.
No,
And
no,
everybody
no,
goes,
please
okay,
don't
sure,
shake
yeah.
the
And they keep
baby.
shaking. But it's a picture of a man, and with him is a 5-year-old, an 8-year-old maybe. Close to the age of the Oracle. I mean, not exactly, definitely not the Oracle. Little dark-haired girl in like a Nirvana t-shirt, who does not look happy to have her picture taken.
Baby Penelope pictures.
Exactly, that's what Jaden's thinking. Like, okay, this is young Penelope.
She's
this is
got that
probable-
same disinterested look that grown Penelope has, so it's possible.
That's probably her father. Okay.
Hmm.
She will put in the group chat, "Hey Sasha, do you have this book?" And she'll rattle off the name.
Does Sasha have the book?
Would Sasha have a local history?
Once stuff started happening, she probably would have picked up a couple, local books and like books on Greek pantheon specifically.
Okay. If
Depends on
she
how old it
specifically
is.
picked up a local history, she probably has this book.
Okay, like the one that the
it was
local
written
museum
by
has.
it was written by a local, and it covers up through the construction of Olympus.
Okay, and she'll be like, yeah.
Go to this page. Read it. See what you can find out, because this is what Penelope was researching.
And like I said, it's one on the little town that got flooded.
I mean, I'm reading the exact same book that you are. What are you wanting me to look for in particular?
the passage that she was reading with the flooding and the town getting dammed and whatnot, be like, this could probably be maybe something. Maybe that's where Gaia is looking for, and not necessarily Olympus itself.
Penelope's a scion of the Scylla.
I mean,
Bet.
so I don't know if you can find something a little more. This is just, I saw this page is what she has marked. So she was reading up on this particularly.
I mean, Sasha will go through and kind of read it over, see if she gleans anything important from it outside of just the basic information.
Okay. There's nothing really in there that would that you notice that would tie to a to a deity, or there's not really any ghost stories about the place or anything. Just people that's speculating as to whether or not the houses are still standing down there, that sort of thing. Like if you're in the local area around here, there's an area called Smith Lake that was an artificial, created lake.
Yeah.
There's still houses at the bottom of it. People have gone scuba diving down there.
Treasure hunting.
Well, and it's so deep that the wood doesn't rot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's that layer where there's no light and oxygen, so it's almost like a perfect preservation.
Yeah, because Smith Lake is unusually deep. Because it was, basically just a little valley they flooded.
Is the lake where the town was also fairly deep?
Deep enough that the bottom would probably preserve some stuff.
Okay. She'll nose around in other books and resources and stuff and see if there were any scions or anything like related to Gaia or Greek Roman pantheon in that town prior to it being flooded.
Okay. Give me a occult. Your death and spirits thing will not factor in.
Okay. Intellect?
Yes.
5 successes. General enhancement from Schwad.
Oh, you missed my 10 successes earlier.
I heard about it though.
I was basically being her informant as to what was going on.
Gotcha.
Talarius briefly saw the Matrix.
Oh God.
You don't find anything involving scions in the area, because this was the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. But there is a report from the time period of the attack, back in the 80s, 90s, whatever it was I said it was. Of a man that survived his boat. Him and some buddies were out fishing. He claimed that their boat sank in a whirlpool.
Does this guy have a name?
He does. Brandon. Creel.
Penelope's last name isn't Krill, is it?
No. It's If I can find my handout. I just had to look it up earlier. Raptus, Raptis.
Okay. Any
The
photos?
significance is he claimed to have seen buildings in the water.
Like house buildings or something other than like what should be down there? Like did he see like Greek temples down
He
there?
just said he saw houses.
Okay.
But
Social.
he was the only person to survive this wreck. He got back to the surface after the sinking. They never
Okay.
found the bodies of any of his buddies, though they did find the sunken boat.
Sasha will throw that in the chat.
Oh, speaking of chat, we've got somebody in the chat. And I have no idea how to pronounce that name. But we're glad you're here.
And Shoku.
And yes, it is a lake in Nebraska. And no, he did not see SpongeBob.
SpongeBob isn't quite at local myth level yet to be real.
Maybe a sign of SpongeBob.
Give it a century in the collective conscious.
But people didn't pay a whole lot of attention to his story, but there was so much craziness going on right around the end that they really just looked at it as a side effect of whatever creature had attacked.
Okay, yeah, she'll link the article and everything in the group chat. Is there a picture of this guy?
Yeah, you can find an old newspaper picture of him.
Does he look at all like the guy in the photo wrap or oh my god, my brain. Jaden sent.
There's a vague resemblance. You would say it's probably not the same guy.
Okay, maybe like a cousin or something.
Could be. There's a certain family resemblance, you'd say. Same dark hair. Now in the picture you got of him, he's got this kind of crazy look on his face, but
Oh yeah.
But it's like, it was a picture taken like recently after they fished him out,
Mm-hmm.
He's literally in the black blanket they wrapped him in.
Still got that whirlpool shot going on.
Yeah. He looks like a, Call of Cthulhu character at the end of a campaign. Yeah.
That's a mood. It's a full-on mood.
Oh, it's the one character that survived.
Okay, yeah, she will throw all that in the chat and kind of mention has a little bit of a family resemblance. Do we want to look into that or just kind of let it go?
Is it something you can look into immediately, or do you need my help with it?
I mean, death records are probably easy enough to search.
They say that, but they've already been looking into it.
Give me a technology roll, see what you find.
Yeah.
Technology cunning.
All right.
And while you're doing that, is Jaden doing anything else in the apartment, or is she bugging out?
She's bugging out.
Okay.
I will be right back. I'm dislodging some cats and grabbing a sweater.
2 successes.
All right. So you look up this event, and local papers have the have online archives. So yeah, you find the news reports talking about this guy. He was a local. He lived further down on the lake, though, so like the community he lived in wasn't one of the ones that got wrecked. As far as you can tell, he's still living there. You know, like you do searches in the area and you can still come up with that name because Krill is not a
There's
real
no-
common last name.
Right, and there's no like death. There's no obituaries with Krill in the name.
Right. Well, I mean,
Okay.
not with his specific
Oh.
name. You know, not Brandon Krill.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
Looking through the article, though, you also find the names of some of the other people that were on the boat.
Ooh, spicy.
One of them does have the last name Raptus. Essentially, it was Brandon's. The paper doesn't say who, you know, what these people's relationship was. Just that it was, you know, Mr. Krill was out there with a cousin, and a couple of friends. It doesn't identify who's who, but
a Raptus was on the ship. Because I think I heard Sarah's headset turn back on.
or perhaps not.
Maybe not. And then Krill is still alive, lives out on the other side of the lake. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Well, it's on the same side of the lake as Olympus. It's just way down. The lake is long. It's a lot.
Sure.
You know, but it's well outside the actual, you know, disaster zone of where Scylla's last attack wrecked so many of the small communities.
Okay. This is me, the player, keeping the information in my head until Sarah gets back so I can regurgitate it.
All right, so Jaden is bugging out. You know, you got no problem stepping back out on the balcony and, you know, shutting the. Truthfully, with that role you had, shutting and relocking the door. Now, you leaving the area completely?
No, she'll go and hide and do surveillance somewhere.
Okay. Within a couple of hours, you see somebody pulls up in a car, walks up, you know, goes upstairs, talks to the guy on guard duty there, and then hands him the keys, and they literally swap places. It's a changing of the Varangian guard.
And she'll put that in the chat. Guard has changed.
So what? Every like 10 minutes?
I don't think it's every 10 minutes. I don't know how long this guy was out here for before I got here.
When he gets up out of the chair, he does a whole lot of stretching. It's like,
Yeah, it looks like
you
he's
think
been
you hear him
here
complain
for-
about it being an uncomfortable chair.
I think he's been here a few hours.
I'm back.
I'll come back.
Back.
Telarius would regurgitate to you the information that the game master gave me, which is that somebody on there was somebody on the ship named with a surname Raptus, and also Krill is still alive. A little outside of, or a lot outside of Olympus, still by the lake.
Okay. It doesn't give like the the only survivor was Krill, and someone else in the boat that passed was Raptus.
Right.
Mhm.
There basically
Okay.
were 4 people in the boat. It was Creel, and the paper gives the names of the other guys, but also refers to it being Creel's cousin and 2 friends. It doesn't say who's the cousin and who's the friends, but
Okay.
you know, y'all are putting 2 and 2 together at this point.
So whatever you want to do with that information, I like literally Telarius would be like, "Well, do you need my help? Oh wait, no, I got it." And then they would have given you that information.
So it's just like I've really got to work on my Google foo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Eric stretching, or is he actually out of the room?
He's actually AFK.
Okay.
I saw him take off his headset.
Okay.
Talarius is like being what's her name from DC, Oracle right now.
The group's actual oracle.
That's how they're spending today, and then just getting hangouts, getting like what the addresses we have. Talarius is also looking at like places nearby, like diners, bars, shout services for Chad. Stuff like that. Just, places that people would go to constantly.
So I know Eric relayed that the video of the mother and the oracle was created with a blurred option. Did we do anything with that? And if so, what was the reaction?
I haven't dropped it yet. I was specifically waiting for them. I'm specifically waiting for them to get to where they're going.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all dropped them off with the set's people, but those people were driving, so they hopped in a car with the set's people. I don't think Connor may have even left a clone with him. I can't remember.
Yeah, Connor left a clone with them to make sure they got out okay.
He 100% did. I think he left it, and then Clem's like on vigil or whatever.
Yeah, I think he vigiled him for those two, so he doesn't have to eat, sleep, anything.
Yeah. All right. So the last two places y'all have to check out is the ranch, which Connor was already headed to. So when Eric gets back, we'll cover that. There's also the trailer park.
I am terrified of going to the trailer park. I'm gonna see something I regret. But if everyone else is busy doing whatever else, Talarius will do it.
Sasha would tag along just so, because they can both, just disguise themselves pretty well.
Like get a general look at the aesthetic of the area, and then just dress appropriately.
Yep.
You take an Uber.
Do like
you
a
like
Google
rent a car?
Maps.
I'm sorry?
Do you rent a car?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, you check the Google Maps Street View, so you kind of know where everything's at.
The general aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll head that way with Sasha.
So it's on kind of the outskirts of the town. Because Arthurus is not anywhere near as big as Olympus.
Mm.
Well, not quite that close to the water, but and then it's fenced off, chain link fence and stuff around it. There's probably a dozen different mobile homes in there. You see a bunch of children out playing. A variety of ages, but none of them are really more than, say, 10 or 12.
Okay. Is there any Rankin Garden area?
There do seem... I mean, there are several women out, watching the kids as well, but...
Sure.
You do see a few guys that are just kind of sitting around in what you've come to recognize as the casual.
Like this.
A little more casual than that.
Just like...
they're not doing a bad job of blending in. It's just you've spotted two guys like this already. You're just starting to kind of recognize it.
$5 says that's a Rankin Garden right there. There's one right there too.
$10 says it's a good thing we're here in Cognito.
And they glance at you when you drive by, but they don't seem to pay any more attention to you than they do any other car that's gone by.
We'll park like a block away, so that they're out of eye line, and then we'll walk back the other way. I will, if you made eye contact with me, I'll make a note to like switch out a wig real quick.
Okay.
Just in the back of the car, trunk of wigs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Come back.
All right, so
and
Talarius and Sasha are checking out the trailer
park.
Okay.
There's a bunch of kids playing, a couple women out watching them, and two people they pretty sure of ranking guard.
Very obviously Franking guard.
Well, only obvious because you've spotted a couple of them
Spotted
on
them.
duty already.
They have the same pose.
Quick follow-up glance around. Anything magical or any ghosts just chilling?
Those ghost children, I'm going to be sad.
I said ghosts chilling, but oh yeah. I mean, if there's ghost children, I will also be sad.
Jason, pick your next few words carefully.
Jason's like,
No ghost children.
They had ghost children in the last campaign.
Yeah.
Yet.
Not that any of y'all ever saw, though.
But they were rumored.
Malkavians and all that. Anyway.
There is one of the trailers that you can kind of feel a magical effect out of.
She'll tell Talarius that and just kind of nod to it. That one's got something in it.
And it's kind of at the back of the park.
Is that something? Does that mean we should go to it or that we should not go to it?
I don't know.
That could be either or, really.
I mean, we could walk by.
We are walking by.
That's what I mean. We don't have to like go in there and be like, "Hey, what do you have in here all magical?" Just kind of, I don't know.
Magic, please open up.
Vibe. Just walk by and catch the vibe real quick.
Yeah.
The two guys you've identified as guard are very on alert. The women that are standing around, they're standing around talking, just kind of keeping a general eye on the kids. The kids are running. There's no like super tension or any kind of weird vibe off of it.
Sure.
You do kind of notice a lot of the children kind of favor.
Oh God, it's Chad's domain.
Yep.
I mean, not like they're identical, because there's a smattering of different ethnicities and stuff. But...
Yeah. But still, who do we know that has like a dozen? Who has 2 baseball teams worth of kids?
We knew this was Chad's from the jump.
Oh, okay. I was not.
Okay.
Me, the player, was not aware. Me, the character, would have been aware.
Yeah,
this is Chad's domain. So I tell Eris was like, I don't want to, but I guess. And they'll just, I guess we'll just walk in and talk to the. Those are definitely the mothers. Let's just talk to them. Just hi, how are you doing? How are the kids?
You have the sweet tongue. You can talk.
The Varangian Guard are paying particular attention to you as you walk in.
Sure.
Now, does Sasha have her walk-in notice thing going?
Not at the second, because if she did and then just suddenly appeared, like, next to Talarius, that would be weird.
Okay, that's fair.
If she needs to use it for a quick getaway, then she'll turn it on.
Yeah.
Sure.
She also does not have smoochums.
Is he not with you at all, or is he just back in the car?
A rental, so I would hope that Smoochums knows not to like wreck the upholstery.
Oh yeah, Smoochums is a good boy.
Okay.
They'll say he's in the car, just head kind of hanging out in dog form, enjoying the breeze.
There's a sign that says this dog is well taken care of. He has his favorite music on.
Favorite music is on. Yep.
This dog is cold-blooded. He loves the heat.
If you open this window, he'll be sad.
Darius goes up to one of the windows. Excuse me.
And she looks like, oh yes, can I help you?
I'm just.
Now, what does the Talarius' disguise look like?
They look like they work for the. They look like they work for the paper, really. Just
survey takers.
Yeah, slacks. A button-up shirt. At first they had the aesthetic going for like the people in the area, but like now they're like, okay, now I'm a business person or like a journalist or something.
Yeah, we're trying to sell newspaper subscriptions.
I'm trying to get an interview.
Or that.
What can I do for you?
I work for the local paper here, and I actually work for the local paper in Olympus. And I was wondering if you had a moment of your time for just a few questions.
About what?
Just, I've passed by this place like many times, and I've seen the kids. I don't know how to put this delicately. All
What are
look
you-
very similar. I'm not saying anything. Just saying I would like to know the mind of the people who live here.
We're doing kind of just a people piece, getting a everyday life from all parts of Olympus and the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Just what they're feeling about everything that's going on, considering the kind of
Everything that's
battle of
going
the
on.
band.
Yeah, considering, and they roll their eyes and like everything going on.
She visibly tenses up when you mention the bands. Like, tenses up, glances over at the guard, and back.
I pretend I don't see it.
But roll me a subterfuge manipulation. Basically
Alright.
a BS roll.
Yep.
Sasha will do the give 2 enhancement.
Okay.
4 successes.
And would I lie to you would, of course, count for this.
5
For you
successes.
That's 2. Okay, she seems to believe the story, but has no interest in being interviewed. It's messed up, but it's across the lake. It's really nothing we're worried about.
I mean, we can of course leave your names out. We're doing a lot of this anonymously.
I make a little heart with my fingers, but like down below where no one's looking, and I'm imbuing a legend for nothing but the truth.
Let's see. Well, she's telling you the truth. She says she really doesn't want to be interviewed.
Sure. But
really, I'm really uncomfortable with you here talking about the children looking the same. I mean, they're related, so of course they do. But why are you paying so much attention to our children?
I'm paying attention to everybody here, not just.
And some of the other women that in this group are like nodding their heads, and she goes, "Why are y'all paying so much attention to our children?"
I'm paying attention to everybody here, not just the children.
You mentioned the children looking the same.
My friend, while they can write words like Shakespeare, their speech skills are a bit more on the level of a Saturday morning cartoon sometimes. They're not especially subtle. I apologize.
That was untoward on my part. But no, I just wanted to know about the everyday lives of people who are being affected by everything going on over here. By the lake.
It really hasn't affected us too much, other than Chad, is gone a lot.
Oh.
Is Chad their uncle or?
Oh no, he's their father.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate for any child, of course.
Yeah, he really should see their father.
Well, it's not like he's never here. It's just that he's gotten busy lately.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
See. Yeah, it's still hard, the man goes to work the 9 to 5, comes back, and just when he comes back, he's like, goes to sleep, right? It's one of the situations.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, there's some visiting that goes on. Also, about 3 of the women in this group are also pregnant, like visibly.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! I see. And,
she's like,
also writing.
It's not that bad. I mean, we're all here to help each other out, and Mama's here.
Everybody should, the
backbone of community is helping each other out.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a village, right?
Well, we're all kind of one big family, Like I said, Mama's here to help us out, if we really need extra.
Has
who?
Mom. Chad's mother. All the children call her Mama.
Oh, of course.
She runs the park.
Of course.
Oh,
Behind
is
every
there-
man is a strong woman or a mother rolling their eyes.
As she's been talking, the other women are starting to look at her like, you're running your mouth a lot.
Like, shut up, man.
And one of them kind of, leans back, kind of cuts her eyes at the guard. And,
We won't take up any more of your time.
I just had one last question before I go in. I promise you won't see me again. I can't help but just like, has there been anything weird in like this general area lately? Like anything like fresh that came in? Anything new? Anything?
They're really just trying to sniff out a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I mean, anything at all.
no,
Trying
there's
to
nothing weird
get a
going on
bonus.
here. We look after the children. We don't let too much weirdness roll in.
that is important.
At that point, you hear a guy behind you. Hey, can I help y'all?
With the paper.
We're just doing a people's
Doing a people
column
piece.
with the paper.
One of the other women is like, we've kind of already told them we're not interested in being interviewed. So
Yeah, and we're on our way out, actually.
Yes.
the guy's like,
Don't
oh,
know.
okay, well, that's probably good. Y'all have a good
Y'all
day.
have a good day.
Okay.
And
Does the-
he kind of walks y'all to the entrance.
Yeah, of course. And
I,
as we're walking, I'll like drop I'll unimpute that, and then I'll have the guard that's walking spurt it out just real quick, just for fun, just for shiggles.
I love how narratively that curse took effect there.
Yep.
Because the guard doing his official function narratively arrived too late to prevent information from being given out. I love it.
And really only show up at all because one of the women was specifically going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was,
I just have
it's like they were spending
spurt
too
it
much
out
time
for shiggles.
debating how they should react.
Yeah,
All
that's fine.
right, and spurted out is just whatever's on their mind.
Whatever's on their mind, it just comes out.
What are you? Okay.
Which-
So he comes out in the form of a question,
Mhm.
So what's got y'all interested in, shoot, I blanked on Chad's last name. I need to just keep that thing open. Bronson, of course.
Just put it in notes and share it with us.
Yeah.
We'll learn them really quick and remind you.
Actually, there's nothing. Y'all figured out who pretty much everybody's parent is, so there's really no reason, because all it is their names and what they're a scion of.
Yeah.
We do know they're all scions of Titans.
But yeah, he's
Anyway.
kind of, what in the world got y'all interested in Mr. Bronson's, human puppy farm?
Human puppy farm, that seems a bit rude.
Have
I'm
you
sure you
seen
wouldn't
how many
like...
kids he's got?
You don't have to say it out loud. That's uncouth.
You said the quiet part loud.
We're just doing a human interest piece.
That was off the record, of course.
Of course.
And he glances over at his buddy, the other one, who's sitting there going, but too late to accomplish anything. Well, y'all have a nice day.
Curse, it's great.
Well, y'all have a nice day. Y'all gotta go.
You as well.
Of course. Human puppy farm.
Wow.
Well, who did he tell you?
Wow.
Who did he tell you he was the child of?
Eros.
Eros the
Yeah.
Elder.
The elder.
Cupid is Eros the Younger.
Eros the Baum Chicka Bow Wow.
Eros the Younger is, or Eros the Younger, however you want to say it, is a god of love or whatever. The Elder is a Titan. He's a direct child of Gaia, and he's all about procreation.
Ooh.
He gives the animals their, he keeps a species going. There's a, purpose to him.
The
Sure.
drive.
Yeah, it's more of an instinctual drive. There's not necessarily any love involved in what he does. It's just the need to continue, your line or whatever.
Signal, yeah.
Chad's line is very continued.
Chad's line has continued for a very long time.
It's gonna be like a Genghis Khan situation.
Oh, well,
Like 20 years, half of Olympus will be related to.
Oh God.
The 6 degrees of Chad.
Oh, I hate it. Ah,
Things I didn't
I
need
have
to
to
hear
have
for
an NPC
200
named.
yet.
I have to have an NPC named Bronson show up in every campaign now.
No.
I've got a buddy
That's
that does that with
Bronson the Trandoshan.
the Bishop family. Almost every game he plays, his character will be a something Bishop. It's a transdimensional family.
Amazing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, we'll just leave and that's that.
Do you think the grandmother is an actual just mother, or
Seriously doubt it.
what is Eros the Elder's relation to Gaia?
Her son.
Directly related.
Yeah, I want to say he's a direct child of Gaia. I'd have to double check to be
Could
sure.
the grandmother perhaps be an aspect of Gaia? There is magic radiating from there.
Yeah,
Would Sasha
Oh, go ahead.
would Sasha know if it's more than like a relics kind of magic? Like, was it a spotlight or a firefly, or
It was similar to what you would see on like Connor's staff.
Okay, it was more of like a.
It's not like
relic.
it's not like a full blown deity who was sitting in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, unless they were like hiding themselves from me.
Which is always possible, but I wouldn't know that.
Yeah. It's one thing I found.
See, it says for Eros, he's just the fourth god to come into existence after Chaos, Gaia, and Tartarus.
Yeah, I see now that it's saying self-formed at the dawn of creation. So maybe a contemporary of Gaia rather than a child. Of course, there's 50 versions of all these deities. So.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure in one of them he's a son.
But anyway, primordial god of procreation. Though interestingly, the artwork I saw, he had wings like the other Eros. So.
Everybody gets wings.
Apparently. So, alright, so y'all walk off from there. Connor, you were checking out the ranch.
His clone was, yes.
When you get there, there's a few other looks like abandoned farms in the area.
Mm-hmm.
When you get there, there are 7 or 8 vehicles parked in front of the house.
Okay.
I mean, it's well back off the road, so there's lots of room.
All right.
There seems to be some activity. You see people out. Clearly, it's like some physical conditioning, training sort of stuff going on, out in the field. They've got a little obstacle course set up. Like the tire thing, the wall climb. The people that are overseeing that are dressed like the Varangian Guard are dressed when they're on duty.
Okay. So this is like a training camp.
That seems to be what's going on here. At least from what you can see on the outside. Now, you don't know what's going on in the house. But...
Okay. Clone will activate walk unnoticed and go take a look.
Alright, so yes, definitely training on the outside. And you go inside the house?
He'll kind of take a look around first, see if there's any obvious surveillance or anything that might.
You don't see
pick
any
him up.
cameras mounted anywhere or anything like that, no.
Okay, then yeah, he'd go in.
Okay. Now,
But
when you run into a
trying to be
non-trivial
stealthy.
character with the walk unnoticed up.
They don't. Oh, there's a roll.
There is a roll for it, yeah.
So if somebody could pull that up, we need to
I'm
make
a
roll.
looking.
I-
Clash manipulation plus legend versus cunning plus legend.
All right, so it's their cunning plus legend, and he
Yeah.
is
Manipulation legend.
all right.
I'll say I was. I didn't know there'd be somebody else in there, so I can't like give myself a blessing for it. I'll just. You know what? I'll go ahead and roll subterfuge, because that has 4 dice.
That'll work. All right. It was their cunning, so
Would I get
Cunning
a get a stealth bonus for this for specialization since I'm trying to be stealthy about it?
you just have to open the door and walk in.
Okay,
You know, there's not a whole lot of stealthy to that without the magical effect kicking in on it.
making sense. Okay. God damn it.
Did we get a momentum?
Yep.
Oh, yes, you did. Congratulations, you're now at 3.
I would rather not have momentum.
Well,
A bright,
unfortunately,
shiny momentum.
unfortunately, my dice decided that now is the time.
Oh, wow, they actually have the same. This roll is actually the same for them. Weird.
But they also got 0.
No, I mean their cunning plus legend is the same for both these characters.
Oh,
That's a weird quinky dink. So you walk in, and as soon as you walk in, you know the door opens up into the living room area. Yeah, you walk in and you see Kim and Dixie are both standing there.
Oh,
Well, not like standing waiting on you, but Dixie's kind of thrown back on the couch.
Back out.
She doesn't seem to notice you. Kim, like, just his head just snaps around. He laser focuses on you. You.
Is this a clone?
It is a clone, yes.
Okay, thank God.
Because if not,
Uh,
this is gonna be a fun time.
So yeah, the second he sees you, he's coming at you.
Okay.
So let's see. We're not going to worry about a particular initiative. Well, what are you doing? Are you going to attack him in response to him attacking you, or are you just going to try to get out of the way?
Gonna try to get out of the way.
All right. So that's
Of
going
course,
to
the
be
martial
close.
ones are there.
That's going to be close combat. Oh, this could be his chance to get his long-term deed. His long-term deed is kick Connor's ass, by the way.
Well, won't happen.
Turn into
Unfortunately.
clone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might count. It might count. I don't know.
Mm.
In his dexterity.
Okay, my new long term is kick Connor's ass. Give me a clone.
All right. So roll your close combat. I guess dex, whatever it is you use.
Sure.
I like the idea he just walks in. It's like, hey guys, how's it going?
Well, y'all gotten used to only having trivial targets, and y'all use that.
What
Capability.
in the hell is going on?
Roll
Don't
twice.
question the dice. Don't
Well,
take a second.
no. I was saying I clicked it once, it rolled it twice.
All right. Well, he got,
So you clicked it twice.
or at least it registered 2 clicks, whatever.
I
Well,
got
Got to go with the
have
first one though. So
I have it pulled over onto another. I have like the little character sheet pulled over onto another window. So
So anyway, the
Let's
first
get off
roll
the
you made
championship.
got 2 successes.
So I'd have 5 in total then.
All right, he got 6 total.
Okay.
Uh,
So he hits. Yeah. Clone's gone.
so yeah,
So basically he hits and then there's just dust in the air and that's it. That just sort of like falls.
and there's probably swearing in Cantonese at that point, but you don't know for sure, or Mandarin. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Prime.
He's Korean. He's Korean, so
Yeah.
It-
Prime Connor. Oh, I've just found Dixie and Kim.
and he kicked-
Okay.
And he kicked the
You
Connor's
put that in
ass.
chat?
And he'll type out in chat like, so Dixie and Kim are at the ranch. They killed one of my clones, but they're at the ranch.
Like they knew it was your clone, or
Well, considering Kim just punched a hole in his head.
okay, so they know that we know, or they know that we're
They know that we know where they are. So
yeah.
And they know that you know they know that you know where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with Connor popping, we'll wrap there for the week. So what we've got dangling plotline wise at this point. So through the week, be kind of deciding which one you want to focus on. So you know where 2 of the other band are. You've still got to deal with finding out whether or not Mr. Sandquist is actually possessed. You have found out about Brandon Creel. I think that was something y'all might be wanting to investigate. So that's what will be on our plate next week.
So much plate.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot on the plate. And we've got is it 5 more sessions after this one?
Oh God.
I mean, it's winding on down.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was planning on wrapping on the 14th, I think. Or was it the? Let's see, let's get down to December. No, yeah, 5 more because I was planning on wrapping on the 7th with the 14th if we missed a session or something.
I'm gonna
time-wise.
miss. I'm gonna miss the 30th because that's inventory night. So
Oh, well.
Let's beat their ass now.
Forewarned is forearmed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you say that like fighting the band is the big conclusion. No spoilers.
Okay.
So anyway, I hope y'all had fun. I'm glad everybody managed to make it in for the last bit at least.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Real life always getting in the way.
in real life.
If we could all upload our consciousness to the internet, this wouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be other problems, but this wouldn't be it.
Right, it'd be different
Like
problems.
all
at
new
least.
problems.
I was fixed to say, you say this as a joke, but that's probably the route we're going to go at some point. We may not see it in our lifetime, but
Well, virtual immortality.
My body's pretty much shot. Just upload the rest of me.
Assuming we're not already uploaded into something.
and our bodies are just failing on us in a virtual. Okay.
It's a realistic simulation.
Yeah, they get every update. They just each time a generation dies out, it's a new update.
But
I
anyway, before this gets any weirder, let's get
I
shut
right
down. So anyway, y'all out there watching, or watching this or listening to it later. Hope you join us next week. In the meantime, Deco, what do we got on Dire Bear?
All right. Well, you can tune in tomorrow for False Color Nights with JT. Saturday should be the return. I'm sorry. Wednesday is False Color Nights. Thursday is A Night's Ransom with Pink Rambo. Saturday should be the return of the Stolen Cities with Alex at the helm. Sunday is Varenheim with Trail. And Monday is the Troubleshooters, the flagship show with Captain Sack. And then we're back here on Tuesday.
So until then, y'all be good. We'll see you.
Don't be good, but don't get caught.
Well, not getting caught the same, basically. As being
Mm.
good.
Be good at not getting